All right. Hi, I am Matt with Schematical, and with me today, well, I'm on the wrong camera. Look at this, like a fool. Get all stood up here. There we go. Looks way better. And with me today is Dominic DeMarco. Dominic, thanks for joining.
Happy Tuesday. I got myself my espresso macchiato just for this special occasion.
And I have a cherry diet Dr. Pepper, which maybe considering renaming this thing, but just CTO Diet Dr. Pepper hour really doesn't roll off the tongue.
And you
But
might have a little trademark infringement there as well.
yeah. Speaking of technical managers and CTOs, in case people don't know, I have a game that is aimed at simulating what it's like to be a technical manager of server infrastructure and all that. And today we're going to play it on stream. So TechDebt is what it's called. And well, Dom, you haven't played it in a while. I just released version 0.0.50, so it's still, we're gathering playtesters. There's a long, painful history that's gone into this thing recently. I hired someone to give me feedback on it. I was supposed to be a professional, and that was unique. So now, well, you can load it up.
That was a very diplomatic way of putting that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best, but we'll circle back on that one in a minute. But Dom, if you care to share your screen, let's go and play a little bit of it.
Oh, and I haven't played in a couple months.
Well,
and this could be a challenge because I did not bring my mouse and I'll be on a trackpad today. So we'll see what happens with that.
Well, I'm ready to kick in. I'll actually get my local build up.
Let's see, share screen. Let me find a Chrome tab. That is the one we was on. And you should.
Yeah, I'm loaded up in case yours doesn't work.
Let's see here. We have to add to stage. There we go. And which one do you prefer? That one, pretty much the same thing.
It's interesting. It's slightly off center in the browser anymore. I've been building it for Windows, so putting it in the browser mode, yeah, puts it slightly. It looks like it's off center, but we're not going to stress on that.
There we go. I just zoomed out a little bit, and there you go.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. So are we going to play here? Is that what I hear? You're just going to. Yeah. This is our stream today. Is live testing and debugging your game.
Yeah.
All right.
So all empty slots. So you got to pick a new save slot.
All right. Lucky number 2 today. Confirm. Okay. New run challenges. Should we just straight into new run because we got no vested shares?
Yep. Actually, I was thinking about skipping the screen when it's a new save. Skip the tutorial. Just trust me on that one. You've played this a couple times.
Okay. Run options. Difficulty bootstrapped is my only real option then. Yeah.
Yep. So you're going to start with that and work your way out of it.
All right. Are we going to let everyone read this or just zoom past it and not read everything?
Basically, this is something I'm working on, is adding a little bit of story to it. So this, I need to have a scene where it says, hey, congratulations, or like, hey, you want to found a company together. They're technical, that's your technical, or you're the technical co-founder of the startup. So you and Mr. CEO there, Mrs. CEO, whatever they are, well, they're all randomly generated, so I can't tell.
He, she, they.
Yeah, sure. They're starting this company together. And so, yeah, your job is to do the infrastructure while they do the business side of things. So if you think of any clever ways to do that, I think I might do it with like some of my comics, trying to bring those to life. But yeah, that's basically how you start. So go ahead and hit continue, and you kind of know how to play.
Something worth note. I mean, product roadmap. So this is the criteria. So we must get the product roadmap done within 5 days of the sprint, and I got to have I can't spend more than $230. Correct?
Right. Yep.
Okay. Let's start the day. Let's spawn out. Okay, I can zoom in and zoom out. Okay. Can I shift drag, command drag, control drag?
Right click. Yeah, you're going to be doomed because the right click is required. I mean, arrows, I think arrows will work.
Okay, I've got arrows. So we've got to do the application server. Okay, I have to do some research on this to get an application server up and running, and resume. All right, so 0%, but he is cruising along. Oh, I have to speed it up here. That's the other problem we got there. Let's speed this up to three chevrons.
Mm-hmm. So one
So
of
the
the
first thing you have to do is stand up your server. Sorry, why don't you dictate what's going on
no,
here? Now
you're
around.
researching stand up the server. I'm actually tempted to change it right now because it's a bit linear the way you build out. I was thinking about
Mhm.
making it so you randomly would pick from like 2 technologies what you want to pursue next or something like that.
Mhm.
Kind of how we do other things. I don't know.
Well, that
It's
comes
just
later, doesn't it? I mean, in the beginning, you have to have a server, or you don't have a startup, at least
yeah.
within
So
the
I
context of this.
well, and so anything that's on each run you'd have to repeat. I'd probably make it so you don't have to like you those just you'd start with a build
Mhm.
so you're not rehashing that out over and over again, so you have to do it, you have to
Mhm.
build it once, twice, maybe, a couple times, but you wouldn't have to redo it over and over again. Right now I've made it so in the meta progression they can choose what they want to do, but in this one, in this that way just be automatic, just kind of just make it a little spicier, a little faster.
Mhm. Okay, we've done the research. So the next thing to do is build it. I've paused us down here just so I don't burn the whole day. So we need to get the server up and running. First of all, so they are going to build the server. And this gives us, okay, so here we come to our first decision tree, essentially. So I've done the application server. I can do code pipeline, dedicated database, or software basics.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know we have to get software basics done in order to meta progress, or I don't know if that's quite the right word, but to get the what's our criteria for this first day?
You're in launch week right now, so basically, at the end of the week, there's going to be a day where you get extra traffic, and your goal is to have the infrastructure survive that.
So we're getting 38 packets a day right now, even though there we go. We got some traffic, 38 packets a day. Everything looks good. And, it might be worth talking here. You can see things zooming in and out, but plus 40 load, and that cost me $1. It's a little hard to read where that pops up there a little bit because they
You can
blend a
zoom
little bit.
in with Q and E, I think it is. Otherwise, the mouse wheel typically does it. The Q and E. So if you
All right, so
ever,
I've got three chevrons, so 3 different things I can do. So I could research the next thing, which that might be a challenge. Okay, so I cannot get up here, so I might not get past here. Is that correct? Because I believe I need to go up
you
here.
can't right click. Try the arrow buttons. Will the arrow buttons do anything in that zoom mode?
No arrow buttons and no W, the Q,
If
W,
you
all
two
that.
finger click,
Oh,
will it? I don't know what just happened there.
there we go.
Okay, so click on that, and then try a 2-finger click and drag. Oh, all right, never mind.
I leveled up. Cooling pressure, fast researcher.
Yeah.
Fast researcher.
So you just
Confirm.
leveled up your NPC there. Make a little animation. The rarities are working. Oh, you've got a UI bug. That's all right. We're just gonna go past it. Forget the fact that the
Build the
details.
whiteboard.
So
I
if
can
you do 2 fingers, it says a scroll.
No, it zooms.
Okay. How to right click on a Mac and hold the control key.
Hate to break it to you, but it's not like that.
Okay.
Well, right there's a note for you. Well,
Yep. Yeah. You're the only one that's been playing on a trackpad, which is the fun part, because you're not a gamer, and
all
I've
right.
been testing it with gamers. Which just let me drive. Crying out loud.
All right.
Luckily, nobody watches this podcast. Okay. So let's see. This one's
is you. I'll take care of that. There you go.
Okay, thank you. It's good because you're in my teleprompter and the controls are abysmal. So this one you can see I've unlocked some meta stuff. So like right now you can meta unlock technology.
There we go.
And start.
There you go.
Yeah,
You
so
zoom
you
in a
start
little
with
bit.
different technology unlocked here by spending their meta shares called allocated shares. They're prestige points, some call them, whatever. I think I'm going to switch up how that works. And this org chart is everything. You basically can unlock quest givers. So you start off with the CEO, and then you can unlock other quest givers that give you more quests so you can play longer, basically. but I think I might do that in game instead of meta. So we'll get into that. And then there's bonuses like training program, which gives increased rarity to my level up. So you'll see less commons in there. You'll see a lot more fancy stuff. So I'll go ahead and do a new run, and I'm going to do it on difficulty seed. Now, one of the things I recently added is now it says the verb of what you can do inside of these, because evidently people need that spelled out for them. And that's not an insult to normal players. I had one particular playtester that they got lost in the tutorial for 45 minutes and basically didn't understand how the internet or much less electricity worked, I assume. And so that was quite interesting, but it also set such a low bar for what I had to do that I've had to increase the way I communicate things. Another thing I've done recently is I moved this to over here instead of, it used to be all right here. And so now, we can go ahead and build there.
I like that.
Yeah. And then also additionally, I wanted to do an icon that was in the shape of like a hammer or something that filled up, but I didn't, I was like, I'm going to just add this in there. So now we got the building. I also fixed a bug recently where they weren't getting XP for building, which they should have. So, but the story of why you're doing this, what was happening, is one of the biggest problems I've got. And so one of the things I want to do is this person didn't understand that the network packets were network traffic. And I can understand how people who aren't in tech might struggle with that, but that is, a packet. So I'm redesigning the look of the packet slightly. I added you can click on it. I'm going to put, a little more information about it, but you can click on it and do that. But one thing I really want to do is add, I'm going to start off with one pipe. And then as your traffic grows, more pipes will spring up.
Sure.
And what I think will happen is over here is I'm going to have customers pop in the web. So you'll see them sitting at their computer waiting for their packet to show up. So if like one out of every X packets, you'll get a customer that sends it, and they'll have like a little thing like, wow, this is slow, or wow, this website's down, this sucks. And they'll put like a little extra flavor to it. And then eventually when you have malicious parties, they'll pop up here too, and you'll miss them if you're not watching, and there's nothing you can really do yet. Maybe you can figure out which pipe they're sending stuff from. But so I'm starting to work on like little rooms that'll try and tell that story. And then also telling that first word bubble better in some conversational tone, I think, is going to help explain things. Oh, and now you can shut down infrastructure.
That's new. That's new. And there's also two people in the upper right-hand corner where there used to be just one.
Yeah. So, hi, I'm the CEO. I need to work on these chirps. These little things are called chirps when they're just kind of random things. And hi, I'm the marketing intern, because that confused people that they're quest givers. And it's like, quest givers are fairly common in RPGs and other things. So, I mean, I think people be able to wrap their head around it. But for some reason, it wasn't landing. So I'm trying to give them a little more flavor as to what's going on there, and trying to minimize like there's a lot of extra stuff in here. I'm going to do the same thing I did with the infrastructure, likely. And there's some UI bugs clearly right there. But yeah, so, and then I'm just going to pick this for the animation thing, but it says also you'll see tool tips. So you see that bug attack, TechDebt multiplier. That explains two things. That's the exact stat that's going to get an increase from this, but also and the math for how it's going to be increased. And in reality, so every time you have TechDebt, basically, it'll take whatever TechDebt you have times 0.7. So if you had 100 TechDebt, then it would take it down to 70%, which is
and
nice.
Quickly, I mean, what does accumulation of TechDebt do? I know the answer to this, but
that increases the odds. Actually, I should have put a tooltip right there. Increases the odds that it's going to hit the fan, that a bad thing is going to happen to you. So if you have a lot of TechDebt and you haven't, done anything to get rid of it, then you're going to get more DDoS attacks and other things. I mean, I guess DDoS attacks wouldn't really be the one, but the various other attacks will increase. So this one, I like Code Linter a lot because it increases the rarity of, the future releases basically right there. And so I'm going to select that and confirm and send it. So there we go. And so you can see now that they're coding and that they are.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, so fast learner, legendary.
Ooh.
I mean, I probably need to rebalance this stuff, but basically every time you learn something, you get 1.5 times that. So this person's going to level up way faster with that legendary one. And you get to watch the little animation, which needs work, but
Oh, I
love this
like that.
little
That's
animation.
been in, yep.
I don't know if I want to pause it or something. There's a couple different games I'm drawing from. And, and so you see it goes off the screen there. There's a couple. I'm debating if I want to force pause it in there. The original one that like really was good with these animation rewards was called Vampire Survivor, and they made you just sit there and watch the whole thing. Actually, I think we've got a problem here. Possibly.
There we go.
Oh no, all right, deployed it. Code linter common. Okay, so basically we got a common rarity on that one, but that's all right. Next time maybe it'll be wilder. I'm gonna go and find this and track this down. Give me a debug on that. So if you've seen this before, the debugging animation is, kind of.
I still want to see the Donkey Kong hammer in here.
Yeah. So we got another level up. Fast coder legendary.
You must have this juiced for testing purposes.
I sadly I think I just need to rebalance it. I have unlocked the meta unlocks I did give me an advantage. So you're right, it is a little too juiced though. For a while it wasn't juiced enough, now it's too juiced. Code linter, we're gonna do that one. Same reasons. Yes, they're stuck in coding there. That's interesting.
And don't they usually
code no,
at
they
their
are
desk?
actually coding.
Okay, there they are. They're going back to their desk.
Yeah, it's not going up though right now. So there is. I just added that, so that's unfortunately that is in the release that's on playtest on Steam right now. By the way, if anybody wants to playtest this, go to schematical.com/techdebt to get on the list. And yeah, I'm working on it. I'm trying to just give it a little more story, but there's still.
But I've seen you've added quite a bit of that in the last.
I just realized it's day 4 at 1:30, and I haven't unlocked anything. Oh, I do have it unlocked. So I meta unlocked it, luckily, and that might get us through this. So we're gonna just pray that I can upsize this thing in time, and that should get us through a bunch of this.
And is your database connected, or is it just sitting back there?
I think it's just sitting. Let's boot that up. Man, I do not like UI. If anybody out there knows someone that does good UI work, wants to work on this.
Yeah, you got this thing so juiced.
I do. I can dial it back a bit. And I took your suggestion. This pauses it.
Like that. I like that.
It pauses everything except the reward animation. So it brings him over there and he says that. So yeah.
I'll show you now 159 packets a day, where we were at 30 something when we started.
Yep. And I did just nerf the difficulty slightly, and I'm looking at this thinking maybe I over nerfed it. We're at TechDebt 103, but we just did a pretty beastly one on that one. Let's do this. We got plenty of money. I think I over nerfed the debt. But again, balancing this thing is going to be half the battle later on. I want to give these guys like little side activities, go over to the water cooler or something, so just bring some life into it, but that doesn't really help the main game. So, fishing attack. Oh, he's got my data. Can I stop him? Can we stop him? Let's go to regular speed. Regular speed, yeah.
You.
I think there's a glitch there.
Massively when you did that.
Yeah, well, this guy's got a perk that drops TechDebt. So yeah, TechDebt's down to 19 there. But I want to make it so if they steal enough, people's creds or something, it really has a negative effect on the game if you keep letting that stuff go through. But then there'll be perks like, just fishing identification training that will make it so they automatically attack. Things like that I want to add in there. So I'm going to write that down right now. Shoot.
So we're coming in on the end of day 5, and you made it.
Yep. We lost one packet, it looked like there, but yeah, plan next sprint. So what you'll do is, so we've got the C right now, and this is something where I'm struggling with. This was hoping that the person I had hired would actually help me with this stuff, is that this whole flow, right now we have the CMO unlocked. So there's actually tasks that go up here and that way and this way. based on who's there and like who you've unlocked so far, and if you've leveled up with them. And so it's just not working by meta unlocking this. So right now there's the user sign up sprint, which basically I need to write some text for this, but you just need to deploy user sign up and login right now. And there's kind of a push pull if you do that. And so that just assume if you're in tech, that means you assume you're storing free text passwords. You're not even hashing them or anything like that. But if you unlock the CI, Chief Information Security Officer, CISO, then you can do hash passwords, or you can do authentication service. So then you're not, storing that. So this right here comes with
Is the
some
marketing side of things.
Yeah, the marketing side of things, it gets you towards making money. But if you do all these without doing any of the other ones, you're going to be hemorrhaging, money. Because after this one, we introduce a new packet type called personally identifiable information. In reality, now I'm thinking it out loud. We should probably, what is happening here? Yeah, go start sprint. So now we're starting sprint 2, which I need to do a better timeline up here. Well, yeah, this sprint allows users to sign up. Be careful handling personally identifiable information. If that gets leaked, we're in big trouble. And so I probably put an image there of what that looks like. But because it's the packet looks like a driver's license. And so if you lose that, it's bad news. So here, there's not a lot of weight to right now. It's kind of like a one part, just deploy and you're done. So again, that's something else I really wish I could get some help with figuring out how to, make that a little more, or give it a little more weight. So, but I think we're moving in the right direction. It's just, I think telling the story to non-technical people a little bit better is the key thing. And then figuring out how to randomize it a bit more. So fast learner, epic, developer reputation.
2 epics and rare.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I got to rebalance it, but I made it so the meta unlocks. You can unlock employee training, which just automatically gives you a little more rarity, but that is a bit too much. I'll give you that. So, all right. So we deployed the user sign up, and so now it's just survival again. So image optimization, always nice, especially because I haven't researched any more tech. I probably should do that. Give me binary storage. Another complaint that the ones I've had is that there wasn't enough to do in between. Like, so that 5 seconds of waiting was too much right there. So, it's like, how do we come up with stuff to occupy the time for the user in between there without, so, all right.
Well, but you're also coming from somebody who's not used to this sort of technical game, I guess.
Yeah, well,
versus, a lot of these games are just pure clicking and sliding down hills or blowing things up or setting up your archers or building a new grain warehouse, whatever it happens to be.
Yeah, well, this person claimed to be, but clearly they had not had that much experience with this stuff. So, there you go. And
you got a cross-site scripter running around. You got that purple dot. There it is.
Yeah. I also added the ability. I don't think I have it in here right now. Okay. So if you unlock firewall, you can actually shut down one of these pipes completely and block
especially if you've got a DDoS attack on it, I'm assuming.
Exactly. So I made the DDoS go a little longer. So they're easier to track, but then you can if you've unlocked the firewall, then you can go ahead and block stuff with it. So
because there wasn't a way to, that's interesting, because last time I played it, there wasn't a way to stop the DDoS. You just had to survive it.
Yeah. And so now you can, and then eventually I want to make it so you can detect stuff like a little bit better, like put rate limiters on it so it automatically blocks it. So, but then at the same time, if there's legitimate traffic there, then it will block that legitimate traffic. So
it's using a sledgehammer to solve the problem.
Yeah, it is early on, but the more pipes you get, the more granular you can be, because right now if you block one pipe, you're blocking a third of the traffic. But if it's 1 out of 16, then it's much smaller hit on your traffic there. And we went down, fix. That's going to be rough. That might
Can
be
you
the death
upsize
of
your
me there.
database?
I haven't researched it. Oh, I did. Wait, I meant I unlocked it. Never mind. Okay, and I also made it so you can upside without fixing. So if you fix it, interesting. Oh, I got hit with a malicious packet there. That's what did the load on that one. I was like, yeah. And you see the latency started to play into effect. I don't have latency requirements this early on in the game, but that's something I'm adding in disk space, things like that. I mean, I try and not, that's the horrible part about this thing is trying to make it so you're not constantly adding new scope to things. Like I'm actually clipping out a lot of stuff that I originally had planned. So, and then here's where it kind of level, like I've got to work on it because he's going to send me off to do more, which we're running out of time here on this whole thing. But if I go back over here, you basically can play right now until you run out of, missions, which there are a bunch of missions here, but that's not really that interesting right now. Like I need to make it so like you can only play 4 missions before you sell, and then 7 missions in the next one and 12 missions by the time you get up to the seed stage, or not seed stage. So you get to the Series A or Series B. I think we're going to go all up to go in public will be the last one. And then at that point, you can unlock everything, but don't quite have that flushed out. So this is where if anybody's in gaming and wants to brainstorm on this stuff, let me know.
I mean, there's a lot of devils in the details here that weren't even on your / our radar when you started this project.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to keep it simple, but at the same time, it's a game. It's got to be fun, right? There's got to be some progression. And it I'm trying to keep it educational. I mean, to show you, I mean, you've seen this before, but I started with the infrastructure, which is what I know. But we've got, all this stuff exists behind the scenes in there, but how do you make unlocking it fun and challenging and not repetitive?
And progressive.
And progressive, yeah. So we dialed back on the infrastructure for quite a while now, but it's just that framework of like, why does someone want to replay this thing more than once, And so I've been working on that. And again, I even hired a consultant for it and they just weren't able to crack it. So we'll see. Yeah. So with that said, how do I stop sharing? Stop sharing.
Here we are again.
Yeah. So if you're interested in play testing this thing, feel free to go check it out. Again, schematical.com/TechDebt. And you also can find it on Steam. We're looking for playtesters, but you can get keys faster by going and signing up that way, or hop on the Discord and bug me as well. But yeah, I've got a bunch of keys for this thing. If anybody wants to play test it, we're hopefully going to have a demo out by the end of the quarter, but more, you know how life is. July flew by. So, yeah. Anything else you'd
And
like
if
to add,
anybody
Don?
has any real world problems with anything like this, who should they call and contact?
Right. So when I'm not designing a game about cloud infrastructure and info security, I actually do this for a living. I consult on it. So if anybody needs help keeping their infrastructure fast, scalable, cost efficient, and secure on AWS, feel free to reach out. That's schematical.com, the word schematic with an AL at the end. So thank you, Don, for reminding me. Other than that, everybody have a great day.
See y'all.